Welcome back to another episode, guys, episode 12. And in today's video, we're going to talk about psychology. Like always, something very important in trading and more important than you think, because you might say episode 12, okay, it's important because it's in a free course, but it is something very important. But there is a reason why I didn't put it in the first 5 episodes. Now, before we get into the video, like and subscribe, really appreciate that. We're still only at 12 subs at the moment, so come on, boost us a bit up. But for now, as always, get into the video. So 2 main reasons quickly to start off. Psychology is something very important. Many people mention it and it has a reason, but we'll dive into that later in the video. So the reasons I didn't put it in the first, because there's one group of people who think, who are hyped about learning, who are grinding and think, oh, that doesn't apply to me, I'm different than all the rest, and they just ignore it. While it doesn't matter how smart you are, how much you're grinding, how much you want it, this also applies to you. And then you have the other group that says, oh, all these things makes me scared, I'm not strong enough for this, I'm not ready for this, let me quit. While it might sound like a lot, it might sound serious, but it depends on the person. Many people may think, oh, he's just talking pure bullshit, while the other half may think, okay, this is some serious shit. That was the intro, guys. Let's get into the video, and we're going to start this video with 5 main stages. Now, of course, everyone's journey is a bit different, but I think me, myself, and other traders I spoke with, and just the majority of the people go through this 5-stage cycle. And because otherwise it would be a bit boring, I have some visuals, not crazy visuals, but I typed something on the chart, so let me remove the price chart, of course. Where is it here? Let's talk about the 5 stages, and this is something very important. Don't skip this, please, because you might think it's boring. So stage number 1. If you're just following this trading course and you're just starting, you're probably in stage 1, the hype phase. You're hyped about learning. You feel good. You feel like this is all interesting. This is all not that difficult. Let's get it. I'm grinding. You're putting in the hours, and you really think, I'm going to make this work. You may think I'm different than all the rest. It's going to be not 3-4 years. I'm going to be profitable very soon. Maybe you're more humble, which is of course better, and you don't have that feeling. But anyways, you should be hyped. When you're starting off with something, surely if you're interested, if you want to make money, you should be hyped. You should be happy to be learning. Now, after this phase, so for example, after you watch the full training course and the PA training course, and you've read everything about strategy, and you learn basically all the theory, or almost all theory, you have to get the reality check. Because if you learn the theory, you might think this is not that difficult, and to be very honest, it is not difficult. If you know all the theory, and if you watch all these videos and all the PA course videos, you know maybe 80% of all the knowledge that I know, just the knowledge. But unfortunately, there comes the reality check. Learning everything, seeing setups, for example, saying, oh yeah, this makes perfect sense, this setup, oh yeah, this is easy to see, oh yeah, that level, insane. That level, of course, price does this, that's simple, we learned this. But then translating that to actual trading and looking for setups yourself, that's very difficult. That's more difficult than you think. So when you know everything, or you think you know everything, and you want to start trading yourself, finding setups or having a high win rate at the start is something that a lot of people have. I'm still a bit ill. I have to cough every 5 minutes, so that's why there are some cuts today in my hair and my voice, but it is what it is. Stage 3, the practice phase. This is after the stage reality check that you know, okay, trading is not a get-rich-quick scheme. We're going to have to grind for this and work for this. But the practice phase is something, I'd say, unique. Some people like it, some people call it boring. Personally, there was maybe one of the better phases. Of course, stage 1 is the best. You're hyped. You think about all the possibilities, you think about all the money, etc. But the practice phase is after the reality check. When you you made the switch in your head that this isn't going to be a quick thing to become profitable. You start to accept it, and if you still want to continue, because many people already quit after stage 2, you're locked in. You say, okay, this is not going to be easy, but I'm going to work for it. It's not going to be easy, surely not, when you look at the chart and you can do absolutely nothing, while you read about everything, while you viewed everything, while you looked at every course out there, and you still can't do anything. Of course, that's not nice. So the best things to do then is, of course, look for a mentor, join a trading community, PA trading, quick promotion. Just get you underway with someone who's ahead of you. Of course, you can do it on your own, of course, but it's going to slow down your process. Anyways, even if you have a mentor or someone working with you, you still have to do it yourself. How do you do that? Look at a lot of videos again. For example, if I'm going to explain all the type of setups in the PA course, don't just say, of course, yeah, this makes sense. Of course, yeah, we see it a lot, yeah. No, just actually analyze, where's the entry? Why does this setup make sense? Where can I apply this? Is it actually in the higher time frame, lower time frame? Analyze everything again, but more precise based on entering trades, exiting trades, literally in the theme of trading and not in understanding what it is. Because that's something very important. In theory, you understand everything, you learn why things happen, and then when you have to do it in practice on the chart, you have to learn how to actually do it, not why it works, because you know all the setups work, but you can't find it yet. So the practice phase contains of, without too much yapping, I know, you just start practicing. You start trading, and in this practice phase, you already have some winners. You will win some trades. Even people who are gambling have some wins, because you will have some wins. Even if your setup is complete garbage, sometimes price will move in the direction you want. So you have some wins, but you won't have the crazy hit rate yet. There will be some mistakes, there will be some mistakes that you repeat, and that's why journaling from this stage onwards is very, very important. More about that later in stage 4 and even stage 5. So I know I'm already 5 minutes in the video and it might sound a bit boring, but guys, this is very important, so stay with me. Stage 4, the danger zone. Not called the danger zone for no reason, and all these names are made up. Of course, I made these names, but you get what I mean. The danger zone. This is why the majority of people quit. This is after, I guess, a year, 2 years, depends on, of course, how much time you spend. You get into the danger zone. And there are two types of ways you can get into the danger zone. So after practicing a lot, after trading a lot, either of these two options will happen. Or you still have no win rate. You still suck at trading. Sorry to say it very simply. You're still not winning a lot of trades, your hit rate is still very low, and the most annoying part is, and that's maybe the most annoying part in the world, in everything, in every aspect, you're putting in the work, you're putting in the hours, you're doing everything perfect, your journal, your risk management is top, you grind for it, you put in the hours, you respect all your rules, you're still learning, so of course you're still looking at courses, looking at other people trading, but it still can't work for yourself. And that's very important, and to come from that mental breakdown almost, to understand that you just have to keep working and maybe switch a couple of things. Maybe yes, your system is perfect, but maybe change some things. And yeah, that's a very hard place. I was basically there because I remember I had 10 trades in a row that I all lost. And basically you have to be very unlucky and very bad to lose 10 trades in a row, because as I mentioned, sometimes the trade can just move into your direction, just pure luck. So yeah, that's one of the options in the danger zone, that you keep working, keep running, you do everything perfect, but the results won't follow. And then you have the other side of stage 4. You practice a lot and your hit rate is actually pretty good. You're starting to make money already, everything is going well, you think, okay, I made it. And let me tell you, you didn't make it. Of course, if you're long-term profitable, like months, years, of course you made it. But you're a couple of weeks in, you had some positive trades, of course your hit rate is not 100%, and then you start losing some trades. Because if you're already, in your mind, you're already profitable, you start telling people, hey, I'm a profitable trader, hey, you know trading, I can do this shit. Well, you may as well start spending more, you start adapting your lifestyle to, I made $1,000 this week, I'll make that every week from now on, let's start buying expensive clothes, go to dinner, etc. And then, that's maybe even worse than the other feeling, to be up there and in your head you're a bit delusional that you're already up there, to then drop to the bottom again, rock bottom, because this is not sustainable. You start losing trades, of course, you won't go on a 50 losing streak, but you're not profitable yet, you'll start losing money again. That's also so hard. So in stage 4, you have two types of mental breakdowns you have to overcome to get to the final stage, and that's to be profitable. So the last stage, stage 5, the only green stage, of course, real profitability. Yeah, you're profitable. Congrats. It was a long journey. For some people it takes 2 years, for some people it takes 10 years, some people never reach it because they give up. Congrats. And this is also a stage many people misunderstood. It's not like one day you're going to wake up and win every trade. All professional traders, all profitable traders don't have a 100% hit rate. They still lose trades, they still have losing weeks, sometimes maybe even months. But yeah, at the end of the day, they make money over time. For example, if you trade with big accounts, let's say people were up in the game, they trade with $1 million funded account or $1 million account from their own capital, and they make like 2% a month. Do the maths. That's a big salary you have yourself. So real profitability is not 100% hit rate, making tens of thousands of dollars a day, and does also not come overnight. You just have to keep working, keep pushing, and as mentioned, if you're in the practice phase and you do everything right, you get into the danger zone, then mentally and discipline, you have to show that you have it, and then profitability will be there. Of course, I can't guarantee you make money, but if you keep working, if you keep up with your mistakes and journal actually, you'll be there. And what I said about journaling, I want to come back to that real quick. In stage 4, journaling is very important. You might think journaling is only important to, of course, learn from your mistakes and track your trades. But journaling also gives you peace of mind. Because imagine in stage 3, you do everything perfect and you just don't get profitable. What do you do? If you're journaling, you actually see, oh, I'll just keep making these mistakes. You have hope. You think, oh, if I fix this, it's going to be better. Well, if you don't, you just feel like you're making the same mistakes every single time, and you see no progress. You don't see a bar in your head like 100% is being profitable. I'm already there. You just see pitch black, and you think I'm never going to get this, and then you quit. So I know this was a big topic. Apologies. Almost 10 minutes, but this is very important. These 5 stages. I don't know which stage you are. Probably stage 1, but maybe it won't be exactly like this. But this is the case for many traders. So if you're thinking I'm there after 5 months of trading, you're probably into stage 2 or into stage 4. Sorry to break it down to you. Now again, I want to apologize because I dragged it very long, but again, it was important. Now I want to talk about boredom. Boredom is also something to talk about because many people say trading should be boring, or when you're profitable, trading should be boring. And trading could be boring, but not maybe in the way many people think. So you have 2 types of boredom, and in stage 1 you have the boredom that you don't want to learn. You're too lazy, you don't actually want to learn how trades work, what trading is, what liquidity is, risk management. And my solution for that is stop. If you're in stage 1, the hype phase, you have to be hyped. You have to want to work for it. That is the stage where you're grinding the most, putting the most effort in. And if you're already bored by then, if you say, yeah, trading might not be for me, then just quit. Then trading is nothing for you, so be it, and search something else. Now in stage 3, the practice phase, you have to trade a lot. Sit behind the charts a lot, wait for setups, because surely with our strategy you can't force a setup. You can't just log in to TradingView, for example, and say, oh, I'm going to long right now, I'm going to short right now. No, you have your levels, you have your zones, and you have to wait until price taps your zone. So yeah, that can be boring. Waiting for price to react or price to come to your level, that can be boring. I got 2 tips for that. First, make sure you still have a job or other hobbies. Don't just say when you start learning how to trade, this is my life. I'm going to dedicate my life to this. I don't have a job anymore. I don't have any hobbies anymore. I don't see my friends anymore. That's not good, because you only focus on trading. You're going to have nightmares of trading, and you think, oh, I might be joking right now, but you're going to dream of trading. And the other tip is maybe not really a tip. It's positive that you're bored. Why is it positive? Because people might say, oh, I'm getting bored, I don't do this. No, you say, I do this, I know I'm getting bored, but I still do this, because you're deep down, you're still hyped, you still want this, and you say, okay, boredom will come, I will be bored, but I'm still going to commit to this and do that. So that's actually a positive sign if you're bored. If you're not bored, don't just say, oh, I'm not bored enough, this is not good. That's not how it works. You get what I mean. You might say, I have trouble journaling, I can't really see my mistakes, why this doesn't work, or you always blame the probability, or I always say, oh, it was a bad day. Then just ask others, and maybe that costs you money. Maybe it does. But that's trading. You can start trading completely for free. Of course, when you start actual trading, you have to put in money, but you can start learning for free. Ask AI, go to YouTube. You can start actually for free. You don't have to pay for college or anything. You can do it completely for free, but then you have to invest. You can invest as much money as you want, and that's the same thing within stage 2 and stage 4. You're going to make mistakes. Either you listen to me and say, okay, I'll pay attention, or you say, oh, this guy's spouting complete bullshit, and you'll pay for it. That's just basically what I'm saying. More about that later, about overtrading, gambling, etc. Last thing about journaling, it also creates peace of mind, because you know exactly what the progress is, how you're doing. It's just a place where you can rest, where you can breathe and say, okay, I'm here in the progress, it's all going to be fine. Now next up we have emotions in trading, and of course people say you don't have to have any emotions in trading. And while that is correct, it's not really, you don't have to have emotions, you just have to stick to your plan. You don't have to make decisions based off emotions. You have to stick to your plan. So at the start, surely at the start, and everyone has this, and that's not good. At the start, when you first start trading, yes, you'll feel adrenaline, you'll feel dopamine. And when you see price going up and you see, oh, I'm making profit, you will feel hyped. If you start losing money, or your first trades are you lose your first trades, even if it's only $5, you will feel bad. That's at the start. And that can take a while before it goes away. And I'm going to be honest, of course, if I trade with a higher risk, with big amounts of money, I also feel that feeling. But that's why I don't do it, and why would I risk 100% of my capital? When I trade with 1%, maybe 2%, I don't feel that, because not that it's no money, I'm still trading with big positions, but I get used to it, and I also know this is part of a plan. I just said this before entering the trade, this is the plan, nothing can change. It's not like randomly I'm going to lose $1 million or win $1 million, to get what I mean. Two things I want to mention as well is gambling and revenge trading. Two very important things, and revenge trading is actually everyone will do. You'll probably do it. Revenge trading is basically what it says. You lose 5 trades and you feel like, yeah, no, I have to get some money back. Oh yeah, let's long here, let's short here, just randomly off the bat. And of course you can win money, but if you win money, you keep doing it. You keep doing it until you lose big. So you'll eventually lose. You could listen to me right now, write it down, and actually pay attention, or you could just say, no, I'll remember, and you actually start gambling or revenge trading and lose money. You do you, or you listen, or you pay it yourself. Sorry that I have to say it like that, but it is what it is. And also gambling, when you start and you see just, ooh, there's a green long button. Can I just click it and start making money? Yes, you can, and that's very tempting because you can just make money by pressing a button, like in a casino. It's very tempting, and I did it as well in my first stage, second stage, because it's very tempting. You can just make money by pressing a button, going up and down. But you have to say to yourself, this is not what I want to do, this is not part of the plan. And once you finally stop doing it, once you're not even thinking about it anymore, then you know you're going into the right direction. The last part of this video, the main part, is about your identity as a trader and telling people. I've always said, if you're in your teens or you're still in school, don't tell anyone you're into trading. Surely not if you don't take it serious, but still if you take it serious, or in general any other side hustle or any online skill, don't tell anyone. Don't tell your parents, don't tell your friends, don't tell anyone. Because you will get labeled, people will make fun of you, people will say, oh, look at this retard, he's trying to be like this guy on the internet, he thinks he can make it work. They don't like it, they will start hating because you're older than you're older than the majority of the people. You're not following the traditional route of going to school, going to college, get a job, work until you're 65, write emails as your job every day. So they start hating, start laughing. When do you start telling it? When you're profitable. And that's not at the start. I know once you start making money, you want to share, you want to flex on other people. Surely when you're a teenager or still young, I know that feeling, you want to prove other people wrong, but please just stay humble and keep your mouth shut. It's not good for anyone. Surely if you're in the practice phase, for example, and you start making money, yeah, you show it, and then you start actually losing and maybe even give up, and then the other people will laugh at you. And then they have the final laugh, and you don't want that. So yes, when you're profitable, when you start making money consistently for weeks, for months, maybe for a year, yeah, then start flexing. Then you can say, I dedicated my life to this, I grinded for this, look where I am at right now. So even if you say, I don't care if they hate, I don't care what they say, me neither, but it costs energy. You have to hear it all the time, and I honestly also don't give a fuck about what other people think. Surely a lot about people who have no vision in their life, but it still takes some energy off it, and it's all not needed. So please just don't say anything, it will be good for you. Then if you're in your 20s, in your 30s, in your 40s, people are more mature. If you have your real friends or you have your real colleagues at work, you can say, look, I'm into trading, I saw this somewhere and I'm actually learning, I think this might be something for me. I know this is not something I'm going to get rich of tomorrow, but I want to try it. And then you have people who say, oh, nice bro, I'm happy for you, nice, this is your hobby, nice. Or you have people who might even say, oh nice, put me on bro, let's do this together, maybe it's something for me. While when you're a teenager, almost no one will do that because everyone is busy scrolling on TikTok, playing games, busy with girls. Well, if you're in your 20s, 30s, people are actually serious in life, and then yeah, tell it. When you're a teenager and you start actually making money, when do you tell your parents? I told my parents when I actually already started. Was it a mistake? In my opinion, not. Because I'm advising guys right now to not say it, because my parents were open-minded, I guess. They said, okay, of course in the start they weren't believing like, okay, this is going to be his job, this is what he's going to be in his future, but they were also not like laughing in my face or not believing in me. Of course they were skeptical and saying, yeah, this is a phase, this will go over, but they were not hating. I know maybe a lot of other households or parents don't accept that, they want their kids to go to school the traditional route, and they start laughing or start saying, you don't have to do that, stop. So I advise not to say anything to your parents unless you're really close to them, or of course need their verification, because if you're under 18, the most exchanges and brokers you need KYC. But yeah, when you're real profitable, when you can show over the time that you're working for something and you have money in the bank, then of course say to your parents, and of course give them something back for the energy they put into you. So the final message of this video, this maybe isn't the best video ever you're going to see, but if you're serious in trading or literally anything in life that takes discipline and patience, yeah, ask something from you mentally, this was a very important video. And the tips I gave, for example, gambling in trading, or revenge trading, as mentioned, you can write it down right now and remember it, or you can say this guy is just saying what he did, I'm not like him, and then you'll pay the money for it. I'm 100% sure, you can still not believe me, you will lose money. I won't. I already did that. So as mentioned, that were the tips about boredom, about those things you shouldn't do, about the 5 stages. And I hope I learned you something. I hope you take away something from this video. Of course, this video wasn't really about trading, but something very, very important, of course. Just take this with you. Remember this in your mind, and then I'll see you guys in the next episode.